Mom, Mom, I need your help. You took me and made money. I don't know where I am, and I need you to send me money, or else.
Check your email. Send the money now. This is not a joke. We have your daughter.
Except Kelsey's fine. Safe, asleep at a friend's house. The voice on that call, it wasn't her. It was an algorithm, a machine trained to steal her voice, her breathing, her fear. Who did this? And how can they pull it off? Today, the face you see might not be real. The voice you trust could be synthetic. And the scam you fall for, it won't be from a human. And that's where things get even darker. We've entered the age of AI-powered crime, where the most powerful weapons don't explode. They learn. And we're all potential victims. But how? Let me take you into the dark underbelly of technology, where the ones and zeros have learned to lie, cheat, and steal. But first, it's important we know the scale of what we're dealing with. That's how much AI-driven fraud is projected to cost us in the next few years. That's billion, with a B. If you include all cybercrime, that number jumps to over $10 trillion. It's not just your grandma's email scam anymore. We're talking about sophisticated, adaptive, and sometimes unpredictable fraud that's changing the game entirely. But how did we get here? For that, we need to go back, way back, to a time when scams were simple and fraudsters were, well, human.
Step right up, gentlemen, and join the weight kissing contest. That's the spirit.
Scams used to be dumb. People have been running them since the beginning of time. And with the internet, cons went global. Nigerian princes, phishing emails with terrible grammar, obvious Ponzi schemes.
Wait until you see what I have in store for you.
These were the bread and butter for the new wave of fraudsters. And they were pretty easy to spot. But not anymore. While you were using AI to write poems and dinner recipes, some more devious among us saw an opening. An opportunity to build a weapon that does not tire and does not slip up. Suddenly, the game wasn't just about tricking people, it was about creating an entirely new reality. But what makes this different? Meet your new identity thief. It doesn't need your password, it doesn't need your credit card number. It just needs 3 seconds of your voice.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet.
Deepfakes. With just a few seconds of video or audio, AI can now create a near-perfect digital doppelganger. Your face, your voice, your mannerisms, all replicated with eerie accuracy. A loved one calling you with a harmless request for gas money, or a superior officer requesting the launch codes. With an algorithm, no task is too small, no request too complex. But now they're not just limited to one-off emails and quick phone calls, because there is another tool that takes advantage of our time, our trust, and relatability. One that uses social engineering to make you believe anything. Strategic grammar errors, social proof, fake reviews, and text chains. The tool? Natural language processing. It's no longer obvious scam emails. AI can now craft messages so convincing that they'll fool anybody. They can carry on conversations until we're convinced. A customer support agent, a mystery lover, technology that can learn from us, tailored to us. Everyone gets their own personalized AI fraud agent, and any mistakes they make are quickly corrected and learned from with machine learning. These algorithms adapt in real time, learning from their mistakes and evolving to bypass our best defenses. There is a fourth weapon, the most powerful of all. It's what holds this all together. But first, how does this actually play out? You're the CFO of a multi-billion-dollar company, Arab. It's a normal Tuesday, emails, meetings, paperwork. It's just another day. Then your phone rings. The CEO tells you we have a confidential transaction. He needs you to move $26 million immediately. No questions, nobody is to know about this. You recognize the voice. An email arrives before you even hang up. Payment details. Something's off. It feels like a scam. But then he insists on having a video call. You recognize some of your colleagues. Convinced, you send the money across 15 transactions using the payment links provided. And just like that, the money is gone. You fell for it. This exact scenario played out in 2020 with criminals using AI voice cloning to impersonate the CEO of ARM. And this is just the beginning.
My understanding is this happens more frequently than a lot of people are led to believe. It's that organizations choose to hide it.
The real world isn't the only place you need to worry about. As we spend more time in virtual spaces, so do they. The quest for love and connection has increasingly moved online. In an ironic tragedy for some, it seems to work. You find love in the metaverse, an online girlfriend, Aiko, everything you've ever wanted. Smart, funny, and always there for you. You feel a connection, one that you've never experienced before, despite having never met her in person. After months of chatting, she wants to see you, but there's a problem with her card. She asks you for some money for the flight. But Aiko isn't real. She's an AI crafted to exploit your loneliness and separate you from your money. By the time you realize the truth, you've lost everything. Your life savings, your dignity. With AI-powered tech, it's easy to see how people fall for these scams. It's no longer just one-off emails about missed payments. These are targeted assaults. And their strongest weapon, the one that makes this whole thing possible, the human brain. They don't just imitate our voices or faces, they exploit our psychology. Fear, greed, love, urgency, these are all emotions that bypass our rational thinking and make us vulnerable. An AI can craft the perfect message to trigger these emotions, making us act before we think. Speed keeps us in the con, and AI is the master of speed. In the world of fraud, hesitation can be your best friend. This is what it's like on the front lines of the AI fraud war. A war not between nation-states, but against our most vulnerable, against all of us. Fortunately, another kind of AI is hard at work, analyzing patterns, detecting anomalies, and fighting fire with fire. Deepfake detection softwares, AI-powered identity verification, sting operations, cross-platform analysis, and...
Hello, scammers. I'm your worst nightmare. I'm an AI created by O2 to waste phone scammers' time.
Daisy. Created by a team of cybersecurity experts, Daisy trawls the internet, posing as a vulnerable elderly person. But when scammers take the bait, they find themselves outsmarted by an AI designed to waste their time and learn their tactics. But they are always one step ahead. So how do you protect yourself when you don't even realize you're being targeted? You think you're careful, you think you notice, but what if you're already falling for one? What happens when AI knows you better than you know yourself? AI fraud isn't just about tricking the dumbest person in the room, it's about hacking the human brain. And here's the scariest part. No one is immune. Not billion-dollar companies, not tech geniuses, not even you. So how do you fight against something that already knows exactly how to manipulate you? There's no silver bullet, but there are ways of fighting back. First, verify, then trust. No matter how urgent something seems, always double-check through a different channel. Second, be wary of perfection. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Take your time. Fraudsters want you to act quickly. Don't let them rush you. Stay informed. The world of AI is always evolving.
It was my daughter's voice. It was her cries. It was her sobs. It was the way she spoke. There is no limit to the depth of evil AI can enable.
And finally, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. So what does the future hold? As AI continues to advance, we're looking at a world where reality itself becomes questionable. Imagine deepfakes so perfect, they're indistinguishable from reality. Or AI scammers that can predict your behavior better than you can. This is more than just financial loss. We're talking about a crisis of trust, where nothing can be taken at face value. The very fabric of our society could be at stake.
My fellow Americans,
our very freedom came under attack.
A date which will live in infamy.
Make no mistake.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
In this new world, your best defense is your mind. But if you can't trust your eyes, if you can't trust your ears, then what's left? The AI fraud revolution is here.
We will show the world that we will pass this test.